sound check to go with the Badum-Tisch. All right, we're back for another round of Yesterday Origins. So, the second game in the series, the prequel, following up on Yesterday, which we played in previous streams. If you go to my YouTube, which should be linked from underneath um, this video, you can actually see the videos that I uploaded there of the previous streams. So if you want to catch up and it's no longer on Twitch or whatever, you can do that. Or if you're watching this in the YouTube, then of course that's probably how you found it, but maybe you only found Yesterday Origins and weren't aware that there's actually a playlist with Yesterday and Yesterday Origins in it. So you can catch up if you haven't yet. And hello, I hope you had a good week. It's a nice, balmy, hot Sunday here. And we've had I'm not sure if it's like a record high ever, but it's definitely high temperatures. We had 33 centigrade recently. It's really hot. But yesterday and today there was a little bit of intermittent rain, so it's slightly cooling down again. But I'm still melting. Where you are, it started raining. Okay, yeah, here as well. But it's not like constantly raining, and it's still quite sunny out. All right, so where are we? We are in a flashback sequence in this game. Hot and a bit of rain, same here. Okay, yeah. We are in a flashback sequence where Johnny Yesterday, as a young monk, remembers his childhood in the Middle Ages. And, or rather, we're in a flashback sequence because we were playing a flashback sequence of the day after this day, and then he said, oh, well, I need to remember something to find my way back here. And so that's where we are, and we want to find out what happened to our friend who got killed in the previous scene. I need to focus to remember every detail. I must be forgetting something. Oh, you had not realized it was a double flashback. Inception. Yeah. Kind of is. Sometimes you'd like to face yourself and say, I guess that's the option we didn't try last time, didn't we? So let's try that, I guess. Embrace the rule.
wants you to follow Satan's path, but you believe in the righteous God. You must observe the rule of St. Francis. I would, but I'm afraid I'm prey to the same sin as Brother Hines. The sin that led Adam to eat from the tree of knowledge and condemn mankind. I want to know.
Yeah, right, we tried all three. But oddly, they don't have the check mark, which is a little weird. Well, I guess we'll go through so we have a complete scene again and to remind us of what he's thinking, and maybe we find something. Leave everything
Dark
behind.
times are upon us. Giuseppe's death is only the beginning. Flee Santa Brigida and never look back. And leave Hines behind? He saved me. He gave me a new life, books, brothers. I can't do that. Not only do you understand languages, you're also aided by demons like that painted old man that sometimes appears before you. If you really want to know who you are, you must first accept this. You are Satan's son. So what do I do? Should I devour a live goat? Sacrifice virgins? Kill myself to return to the hell whence I came? No. I must follow Hines' plan, whatever that may be.
So yeah, this is an ability we weren't really like that wasn't in the previous game. That he can speak, like he can understand basically any language. And my guess is that that's why we're here. Because last time our friend here died reading this book, which is written in a strange language nobody knows. And I guess he's the only one who can read it. But what I find funny, like the strange man they mention here, the that is the little the monk, the what do we call him, master, um, from whom we learned fighting in the previous game in a flashback sequence. Basically, we remembered, oh yeah, we know how to fight. And the fun thing here is that he already remembers that master in the Middle Ages. So the question is, where did that come from? And that was kind of the question we left up on. We ended up with on the last stream that the question is, do we have some sort of precognitive ability, and do we see that we will later, sorry, do we see that we will later be able to talk with, do we see that we will later talk with him and learn from him? Is that, and is that why we sought him out? Because we're really young still in this game. And the assumption so far was that whenever we die, we return to a certain age, which was about the age where a ritual was performed on us. And so, if that ritual is, if this scene is us younger, then the question is why. That means we're not yet immortal. And that in turn means we do not know, we should not know about the monk yet. So either we have already died and somehow can't come back younger, and whatever the ritual did just like made us resurrect older or in a different way, or yeah, we have a precognitive ability. Or we find out that maybe our memory just inserted our older body in that spot and we actually learned that as a younger person. That might be a way as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit mysterious that we already know about the silent master, the monk. Or the monk has a precognitive ability to appear before us. Or that, yeah, maybe the monk can kind of find us in some way. The question is like, how are we able to read these languages? Is it that we have, the ability to kind of seek out another mind in the world? Are we maybe just, quote unquote, just telepathic? And, do we just have the ability to pull the knowledge from someone nearby? And then the question is, what will happen with this book? Like, is this book alive and so we can pull the knowledge right from the book? Or is there someone else in the world that we have access to that can read this language, and we just have to, and we just have the ability to find it? Or will we even not be able to read it because it's such an old language? But yeah, there are many chances. But that would also explain, if you remember the flashback scene in the previous game, where we arrive at the Masters. We go over a mountain pass, and it seems from what we know now that we probably died there in the snow and then resurrected and somehow moved forward to this master with the desire to learn from him. And so the question then, of course, becomes like, what, like, why did we move on? Why did we not turn back? You know, knowing that we came from somewhere and maybe they can tell us who we are. So, did maybe the monk notice us there in the cold, dying, and, you know, call out to us telepathically or something and tell us, finally, you're coming? And that's why we kept going? So, there are a lot of interesting questions raised by everything in this game. All right, let's see if we can talk with anyone else and if they have anything interesting to say. He doesn't speak, read, or write. The perfect accomplice and confident. All right, let's see. A blind eye, or not. Giuseppe once mocked him from that side, thinking that he wouldn't see him. Ursus grabbed him by the throat, raised him in the air, grunted, and finally let him go. Giuseppe had a hangman's throat for months. Oh, so he had like discolorations. Hangman's throat is a nice word. Ursus lost his speech after the fire that caused those scars. You wonder, does the throat, along with the mouth, have something to do with the ability to emit sounds? Yeah, of course, this is the Middle Ages. They didn't have that much knowledge about the human body, how it worked yet, I guess. I think, like, you see Da Vinci, I think, like, in his books, we see that he kind of, you know, examined corpses and figured some of these things out. Which, I don't know what year this is exactly set and what year Da Vinci was. But, like, my guess is it's about the same time, or even if Da Vinci was before that, it might be forbidden knowledge in this time. I mean, they say, you know, like that someone is asking about, you know, that the prior of the monastery has someone read books they shouldn't, is what the fat guy said. I've forgotten all the names now. I'm glad I still remember Johnny's name. Though I almost call him Johnny Dangerous right now, which is a completely different character. He never goes anywhere without his rosary. You wonder what it means to him. Maybe it's a secret key. Yeah, but he seems to have burns all along one side. And I guess that's it. What we know about Ursus. When focusing on the back area of the library, you recall a faint melody. Oh. Hymns. The good news is that knowing that the chapel is near reduces the search area considerably. The bad news is that the area is still enormous. Okay. So, what we're trying to do is get back to this location because we were blindfolded when we were brought here. And so, of course, this is a good clue that we have now. That you could hear the chapel from there. Is there anything else? You wonder what that murderous book contains. What is Gines searching for in its pages? The window. Some peculiar monks. Isn't it strange that you've never seen these stained glass windows in the monastery? Interesting. And if you look at the monks, kind of have horns and have a kind of a book with a pentagram on them. So would be kind of obvious to have this obviously outside somewhere. And yet you know you've never left the building. Wait, did I just... Okay, let's look at this again and see what it says. Try as you may, you don't remember having seen these stained glass windows anywhere in the monastery. Perhaps someone else has. Okay, I guess that's it. I hope I didn't miss a message there. Somehow that sentence seemed a little non sequitur. Oh, wait, that wasn't what we wanted. Ah, okay, so we can go into the flashback and back out by looking out the window. Good. Good to know. Okay, let's talk to... You wish Gines had heard him when he asked to read the book before Giuseppe. Yeah, we know that from last time, I think. He's only a few years older than you, but the dear Lord has decided to bless him with an extreme tonsure. Botillo, the Iberian delicacy, is... Okay, yeah, we've done that. Oh, wait, we can get the names from there. What was it? So Giuseppe is our friend who died, the tall one, and this is Toribio. Or Botillo, apparently. Wait, let's talk to him and see if he says anything. If you had the chance to be completely honest with Toribio, what would you tell him?
You disgust me. You're a clueless, tattletale, brown nose who doesn't understand what he copies. And it's not just the books. It's the rule of St. Francis and all of that meaningless nonsense you observants constantly repeat.
I'd rather be a brown nose than end up covered in shit, Brother Yago. And that's exactly how you'll end up.
I feel like neither Giuseppe nor I have been just with you. For that, I apologize.
I knew you would come to your senses as soon as that Italian devil lost his grip on you. Dead dogs don't bite.
I respect you, in spite of it all. It's not easy to observe the rule of St. Francis these days.
And why don't you observe it as well?
Science, logic, and history bid me otherwise.
Interesting. I wonder, like, what rule of St. Francis they're talking about. Like, the rule of St. Francis, like, what I know that Franciscan monks do is that they go not for, like, the Benedictines or other monks at the time. They were, like, rich monks. You kind of went into the service of the church, and that was a way of, ascending in society for some people who had no other way, or for whom that way was desirable. And like you got an education that was usually done in churches. So even if you didn't become a monk, I think you could like become a scribe or something if you went in service of them for a while. but you know, they were kind of rich monasteries usually, and they had influence. And the Franciscans kind of went and said, "Hey, we're pauper monks. We have simple clothing, and we only have a rope around us, as a belt, not a pretty belt, and we give up our property, and like live a simple life." And that was kind of the new thing that St. Francis did, was that he introduced the idea of like uh, a enforced unselfish life in the monastery, I guess. Um, which is, I think, mainly the picture of monasteries that people have these days, is like the St. Francis monks first. So that's kind of the rule of St. Francis: be poor, be good, kind of like that. That I remember, but there must be some, like actual thesis or something. Let's call it a bullet list of things a monk of St. Francis is supposed to do that contradicts logic and science. I mean, I guess, it probably, like could be, like observe God or observe the Pope or something like that. Maybe that's it. Will you ever see Giuseppe again? Yes, and slowly fading memories such as this one. If you could only talk to Giuseppe once again.
Why did you have to die?
Who knows? Those Greek gods you love used to claim the beautiful first. And I don't mean to brag, but between you, Botillo, and me, there's just no comparison.
I will never forget you, brother.
Botillo sure won't forget me, at least not until you find out why Father Gines calls him so much.
Did Gines give you a proper Christian burial as promised?
I think you know the answer better than I do. Whether you're ready to admit it is another story.
Gines de Orduña, your teacher and tutor. He looks very friendly and doesn't have an ulterior motive. You can tell from his face. The character design is very precise in that regard. And Franciscans also become teachers as opposed to Jesuits who become professors. Yeah. There are things you'll never dare ask Gines.
When the Inquisition captured me, you found the dead body of my friend Alonso, whose recently deceased corpse could pass as my own. Isn't that too much of a coincidence?
I believe you have reached your own conclusion. But remember what I always tell you. Chance does not exist. It is Satan's hand. And sometimes it uses our own to achieve its goals.
There are things you'll never dare ask Gines.
You knew that Giuseppe would die upon reading the book, didn't you?
All I had were suspicions, the same as you.
You said you appreciate me for my talent with languages. What will happen the day I'm no longer useful?
Have you ever seen me do someone harm? Don't fret. Although you are the devil's son, how could you ever cease to be useful?
All right. So I guess that's all we can get out of this flashback. But this is a nice way of doing this. That it's basically just a different room. So the question is, it's not really smart to ask him, but I guess, this is an adventure game, we can just try. we don't die or anything if we ask the wrong question. Did he even try to help Giuseppe? No, the dirty rat. Brother Toribio, scriptorium cohort by chance, observant at will, and son of a bitch by right.
May I take some books from the shelf?
Absolutely not. It's time to write, not to read.
Oh, wait. Didn't it say somewhere that we can look out?
Nah, the other day, when Brother Botillo was sleeping and Hines was not in his study, I snuck in through this window. It's a bit risky and not an easy feat. But oh, the pleasure that comes from knowing that I could steal something from our superior if I so desired.
Go there, I guess. Is there more? Yes, okay. Its height prevents others from spying on you while you work. What's this room?
May I come in, Father Hines?
My door is always open to you, Brother Iago.
As you approach him, you notice something. The key that Hines carried last night before he blindfolded you. Oh, so we know we could climb in this window? And we could steal the key if we wanted, I guess. Or at least Giuseppe could. Why are the two window interactions in your inventory now? Yeah, it's yeah, we get stuff in the lower right to mean you know, we can talk about it, for instance, in conversations, or we can use it as a reason when we do something. So that's how this game works. So my thought was that maybe we can look out a window and somewhere see these windows, you know, and kind of go look out the window with the goal of spotting these windows. So the game knows what we want to do.
I don't understand why you always favor Brother Toribio.
You are the better pupil, no doubt, but you'll be better off if you draw little attention to yourself. On the other hand, commending Brother Toribio helps me win over those he sucks up to, the observants.
What do you think of Father Ezekiel?
He stands up to the observants and understands the world through reason. So brave, and yet so naive. The only reason that governs this world is that of your father, the devil. I do prefer him over that gang of lunatics, no doubt. But I must proceed with caution and not show him too much esteem. By the way, he should be showing me how that printing press of his works sometime soon.
Interesting. So Ezekiel is definitely someone to, like, if we need someone to help us, that would probably be the guy to go to.
Don't you think our abbot is a saint?
Oh, no doubt. He has a view of the future, and would certainly embrace anything that Father Ezekiel and the like propose. But he knows that without the observance, he would lose his grip over the monastery. That's why he tries to please them. And he's not the only one.
I know you're not fond of Father Diego and the other observants.
How could I be? Their insistence on returning to the rule of Saint Francis is ridiculous. Their idea of poverty makes me laugh. You need money to preserve the knowledge of books, and a full stomach to think with clarity.
But you pretend to like them.
I must. If not, they'd rally against me in my library. They'd find out what I'm hiding, sooner or later, and they wouldn't like it.
All right, that's interesting. So now we know, okay, so the observants kind of think, this monastery is not poor enough anymore and want to go back to that and don't want to have expensive libraries and beautiful church windows and things like that, I guess. So that's where we are in the point of the development of the Franciscan order, I guess.
What makes you so attached to Ursus?
His gratitude, just as yours, bonds me to you.
You saved Ursus's life as well? What had he done?
Oh, I don't even remember.
You've forgotten?
When the Inquisition wants to execute someone, they don't need an excuse. Who cares?
Oh, so the Inquisition... That's new, because remember in the flashback we said, oh, Ursus, got hurt in that fire. And now he says, oh, when the Inquisition wants to, get rid of someone, so that means he was also one of the people the Inquisition was after.
You said you would grant Giuseppe a Christian burial. Have you done so already?
Ursus took care of it before the morning prayers. Don't worry about it.
I'll pray for him.
Don't waste your prayers. Keep them for you and for me. But send them to your father, Satan. Beg him to grant us the ability to read that book.
Where were we last night?
It's best if you don't know.
Why?
You are my most prized possession. I don't want to lose you.
What if I had read the book? Would you have left me to die?
Not in the slightest. I wanted you to see the power of the book, but you're not ready yet.
What if Toribio had read the book?
That coward! He would never have even tried. I only took him to incriminate him. I was afraid he'd badmouth me to the observants. Now he won't dare.
Uh-huh. So Toribio would now be scared. That's interesting. Okay, that's a strategy. Like that he goes and Toribio, like he said, I want to read it. But Hines says, well, he would never have dared. And I guess now he will not try because he's seen someone die from it. And that keeps, the book safe, I guess. And also, he was now present when Giuseppe got killed and is complicit. And so that in turn means that that he's too scared to speak up, because then the Inquisition might go after him as well, despite him having helped, as an accessory to the murder and the ritual.
The book has a Y on its cover. What does it mean?
I don't know, Brother Yaga.
My name is Miguel. Iago is only the name you gave me after helping me escape the Inquisition. It starts with a Y.
Don't jump to conclusions.
That's a conclusion I'll jump to for you. Don't worry.
Do you know anything about my father?
Yes. He rebelled against God and turned into Satan. He stayed in the shadows for centuries, but one day he will rise.
I'm talking about my human father, the Duke of Fuentenegra.
You don't have a human father.
I don't follow.
In order to avoid further problems with the Inquisition, the Duke confessed that you weren't his son. Years before, an old man who claimed to be a messenger of the King of Naples spent a night at your father's estate. The next morning, he had disappeared, leaving behind all of his belongings. His clothes were lying on the bed, covered in blood. And among the clothes and blood, they found a happy and healthy baby. You. The Duke, who hadn't managed to conceive an heir or bastard, kept quiet and gave you his family name. And no one ever heard from that old man again. It was all the devil's doing, no doubt. An act of your true father.
The plot thickens. So, he was found with blood in the clothes as a baby of this old man. So that old man, my suspicion is that old man looked like Clutch. Choke. Choke was his name, not Clutch. Choke. It was probably, so we're probably at a point where he actually already has been made immortal, or already was immortal for a while. The question I have is, what does that mean for the ritual that we saw? But so, like maybe someone tried to kill him at night, and then he kind of got reborn as a baby? Because, why else would they find a baby? And, why would he mention that they found a baby in the clothes of that man? And we know. So maybe it was just that whatever they did to him in that ritual when they carved the Y into his hand made him, locked him in at that age. But he'd already had the ability to die and be reborn before that. Yeah, so basically he could regenerate as a baby, that's what I'm thinking. So that they, like that he already had a life, and that's why he remembers the master, because that was, decades before he became the Duke's child.
You have denied it countless times, but what if the Inquisition is still looking for me?
The plan worked perfectly, Iago.
My name is Miguel.
Your name is whatever I say it is. Miguel de Fuentenegra was devoured by a diabolical pig in that dungeon 3 years ago. That's what the Inquisition believes, and can't think of a better story.
Being a baby is not really a survival of the fittest skill. Yeah. Why? He survived, and, so, like, biologically, that might not be a bad start, But of course, yeah, if he gets caught as a baby, basically, and killed, then that's a problem.
Sometimes I dream of returning to Ventenegra, and...
Don't be a fool. What if someone recognized you? As I've said before, I didn't give you a new life for you to throw it away in vain. Your place is here, at least until we decipher that book.
So that's what they need. That's what they need him for. He thinks he will be able to read that book.
When you saved me, you were already master copyist of Santa Brigida. And Ventenegra is more than 20 days away. How did you find out about me?
One of my most grateful pupils is now a scribe of the Holy Office. He knows of my commitment to understanding ancient books, unknown languages, and lost knowledge. When the Inquisition set their sights on you, he contacted me. I left immediately and arrived just in time to save you.
I wonder. I wonder if that's the truth, or if he. I mean, it could be. It's simple enough that he just found, oh, interesting, child of the devil. I'm a devil worshipper. Let's save him. Especially since the child of the devil speaks languages that nobody else does, or so maybe it might be useful for gaining knowledge. On the other hand, it could be that, like maybe he put the Inquisition onto him, having already planned how to get him out of there in exchange for the butcher's son, and kind of to make him indebted to him, and so to make Johnny, Miguel, Iago, whatever you want to call him, indebted to him, or and get him away from his father, who was probably a nice person and protected him so far. And I mean, a duke's son is not something you can just get a hold of easily, so it would draw a lot of attention.
I feel like I'm wasting my time here in Santa Brigida.
Your gift for languages is very useful, and it will be so even more in the future.
Well, I've got my own ideas for the future.
Speak.
You know how much I enjoy ancient mythology. Maybe I could focus on writing about it, like...
The fact that I allow you to read certain books does not mean you can flaunt this knowledge. Anyone who speaks of pagan myths will automatically become a target of the Inquisition. Do you wish to go through that again? Or do you have any better ideas?
I'd like to follow in Father Ezekiel's footsteps and do something with my hands. I like the forge, to see iron come to life, like Vulcan, the blacksmith deity.
Your talent lies not in your hands, but in your head. I will not let you put it to waste. Any other ideas?
Since I understand all languages, maybe I could be a missionary and evangelize the Americas.
What part of I am Satan's son have you not yet understood? Any other ideas? Listen to me. You are the devil's son. There's nothing you can do about it. Make the most of the gift he's given you.
But how? His is the book that killed Giuseppe.
Perhaps, when you decipher it, we won't have to hide anymore.
Then why don't you let me give it a shot?
I must first test it on other subjects. I can't risk losing you.
Well, I'm willing to take that risk.
I would protect you with my own life. If you want to risk your own, you'll have to do it over my dead body.
I could use a mirror to read the book's reflection, just like Perseus did to avoid turning into stone when looking at Medusa.
Oh, nonsense. Mythology is nothing but myths, legends, and lies. But the power of the book is real. You've seen it.
If the book is my father's work, why would he kill me?
Because the book is not your father. Does it have eyes? Does it know who you are? Can we be sure it will recognize you? Can we know if it has a will of its own?
I think I'm not cut out for the priesthood. I'd like to get married, meet a woman and...
And? Do you think I'm a virgin? I will give you, not one, but many women. When you reach the priesthood I have planned for you. But let time take its course. What else do you have in mind?
Okay. Guess that was it. Okay, we can't look around in there, which is a pity. The secret library's stained glass windows of strange iconography. Yes. In the secret library you could hear the hymns of evening prayers, yes. Father Gines keeps the key to the secret library in a drawer of the desk in his study. Ah, okay, that was what we were supposed to have seen when we came in. Let's go over there first, see where that leads us. You search for the door to the secret library throughout the entire monastery. Unfortunately, to no avail. Wait, is there anything here? No. Wait, let's go there again and see if did I click something away? With a newfound optimism brought by recent findings, you once again explore the monastery in search of the secret library. When your optimism dies down, you return. Okay, that was all. I didn't click and cancel it. That UI is a little confusing. It's okay, but I'm never quite sure.
Good morning, Father Ezekiel.
The day appreciates the epithet, but doesn't deserve it.
What happened?
Did you know that Queen Isabella is coming tomorrow to see my printing press in action? And in just 1 hour, I must perform a trial before Brother Hines, here, in this very workshop.
No. Nobody ever informs us Razophors.
Well, there will be no trial. Somebody stole all my letter E types.
Huh?
I won't call for him. He's always so busy, he won't even remember.
Maybe you just misplaced the letters. I heard about a condition called lystexia that...
I never make mistakes. The letter thief, in all his clumsiness, tore his habit on one of the pins of the printing press.
Oh, okay.
You said they stole all letters except one, right?
Yes, one was stuck in the mold and I haven't had the time to pull it out. Here, in case it helps you find the rest.
We have a letter E. Yay! What are we gonna do with a little E? To a Sesame Street episode. This is an E. Like eat. Or elephant. Or eczema. No, wait. Although Ezekiel is your friend, you'd rather not betray Father Hines' trust revealing where you were last night.
Did you know that sometimes I have the strangest dreams? In fact, I dreamt that I was in a secret library within the monastery. Do you have any idea where that kind of library would be if it were real?
No. Although if I had more information, we could deduce its hypothetical location. Who knows? Sometimes the Lord uses dreams to remind us of things we don't know we know.
Do you have any idea who the thief could be?
I only know it's not me. The rest could all be guilty.
I don't think it's him, but could it be Father Hines?
I doubt it. He supported me all along, although the printing press would put an end to his privileges as master copyist. So who knows?
Yeah, I think he was looking forward to it, so at least he said so to us.
What about Giuseppe?
He's the Abbey's greatest prankster, no doubt, and he's been missing all morning. I'm sure he's up to no good.
You remain silent and realize that if it was Giuseppe who stole the letters, it will be very hard to find them.
What if Toribio did it?
Could be. That radical observant disapproves of everything I do, although he is a coward. Would he dare to do something like that?
What if this is lay brother Ursus's doing?
He would only do such a thing following Brother Hines's instructions. Poor Ursus. It's as if someone had removed his free will.
That's an interesting tidbit. That it feels like Ursus only does what Hines tells him. So maybe, you know, there was a previous ritual or something.
I suppose Father Remigio is above all suspicion.
It's not easy for our prior, caught between those radical observants and the knowledge that progress is good for the community. If it was him, rough times await us all.
What if I did it?
Okay, Act like you're confessing.
Father Ezekiel, I confess. I stole all your letters.
Brother Iago, you're as bad at acting as you are noble in spirit.
Father Diego can't stand you.
Another fanatic. But his excessive observance of the rule of St. Francis has kept him far from the baths since last spring. My workshop would still reek of his nauseating stench.
What exactly are those types you say were stolen?
They're small metal letters that I place in line. When pressed against the paper, they print the ink.
You could try writing without the letter E. I could write an entire book.
Oh yeah? Please start.
Thank God Almighty for visitors arriving on this day at the Holy Catholic Sanctum that is Santa Brigida.
Ha! You said the.
Yeah. It's interesting that they over-explain what the types are, but the rule of St. Francis is not really explained. It's almost a little weird, like, the concepts I think they would explain, because not everyone knows them inside out. They don't.
How did you get Her Majesty to visit the Abbey?
Ever since my friend Johannes invented it, the printing press has enchanted nobles and commoners alike, and the Queen is no exception. Being aware of this fact, and after receiving approval from our abbot, I sent her a missive stating that Santa Brigida housed the first printing press in Spain. Now I wish I'd never had the nerve.
His friend Johannes. Gutenberg, as he is known. That's interesting.
Why do you want to test it with Father Hines?
As master copyist, he must approve quality of all printed materials. But that won't happen now. The meeting is in less than an hour, and I don't have letters E. I won't call for him. He's always so busy, he won't even remember.
How did you get a printing press?
The inventor, my friend Johannes, sent it to me. I worked with him during my European travels years ago. He was going to send it to Segovia, but I convinced him by saying I would make the most of it, that I would show it to important people, which won't happen tomorrow if the Queen arrives and I print Isabella and Ferdinand, monarchs of Spain.
Ferdinand.
Do you oppose those who practice a strict observance of the rule of St. Francis?
Not at all. They are the ones who oppose common sense, which is the tool our good Lord gave man to aid in his survival. Diego, Toribio, and all of those loonies want to take us back into the Dark Ages. We're in the 15th century, for crying out loud.
It's nice to hear them say that phrase with a number where you go like, wait, they mean it's modern.
You are a man of science. Isn't that somehow at odds with faith?
Science is the study of divine creation. How could it be at odds with faith? What is at odds with almost everything is human understanding that never manages to grasp the meaning of our good Lord or his creation. That's what science is for, to enlighten our understanding and bring us closer to God.
Is Father Hines closer to you or to the observance?
It's hard to say. On the one hand, he helps me with my research. On the other, he praises useless fanatics like Toribio. But Father Hines is an intelligent man. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he has a good understanding of Hines there. We can look at him. Every winter, Father Ezekiel lets his hair grow out, which covers his tonsure. He argues that the Lord brought him to this world to think. If I let an absurd rule freeze my mind, I'd only stray from the path he chose for me. His eyes reveal determination, while the specks and dark circles speak of long nights at work. Wait a second, why isn't he wearing his eyeglasses? Okay, so I hope we can ask him about that. You've never seen him without his tool belt. He even wears it to Mass and the divine offices, scandalizing the more orthodox monks. In his own words, I present myself to God as what I am, a man who belongs in a workshop, an artisan at his eternal service. He's definitely making a statement. Even though no rule of St. Francis forbids it, Father Ezekiel is the only person who wears socks in the winter. He says he started doing so after visiting the cold Teutonic countries. Okay, so that's where he met Johannes, I guess. Teutonic in Germany. All right. Let's see. Can we ask him? You tell Ezekiel everything you recall about the stained glass windows in the secret library. Ezekiel thinks for a moment, touching his beard. He mumbles several theories but can't pinpoint a specific place. He needs another hint. The choir. Wait a second, those windows? You could hear hymns? Ezekiel looks at his floor plan and finds the spot.
If I'm not mistaken, it must be in the east wing of the abbey. The door has to be... That's strange. It should be where Paolo da San Leocadio's painting is.
Ah. Ezekiel is right. There's no door here. Or is there? Are there dentures in his workshop? Yeah, it looked like the ones in the lower right in the front were dentures, wasn't it? The Gates of Hell, painted by Paolo da San Leocadio. They seem like the fangs of an enormous leviathan. You recall one of your favorite verses from Dante's Inferno, which you read recently. All hope abandoned ye who enter here. Yes, everyone hears those. Just a small metal plaque. Right. Looks a bit like it might go with the key. Like, I think that's probably the keyhole. Oh, I can't move it anymore. What's that ring? The shackle, like any other you could lay your eyes on. Reminds you of your short stay with the Inquisition. It's a shame there are no lit torches with which to melt the ice on the font. The ice on what? I think that's probably a bug in the... Oh, this one maybe. One of the many baptismal fonts given to Santa Brigida by the Chancellor of Castile. The coat of arms of Don Peyo López de Ayala, Grand Chancellor of Castile and benefactor of Santa Brigida. Beneath the thick layer of ice, there is a small ornamental plaque, possibly made of silver. Oh, so either the golden one or the silver one could be door locks. I mean, that would hide it well if it was under ice. But I guess we'd need the key first. Good. So yeah, I was first thinking maybe it was because font has several meanings, and one of them is, you know, typeface. So it could be that they expected us, you know, like to find the letter E's somewhere frozen, and now we have to unfreeze them somehow. Ever since Giuseppe sprinkled them with pepper dust and chaos ensued, no one has lighted them again. Let's see. Does he have a torn garment? Doesn't look like it. Let's see if anyone yesterday had. A torn garment. Maybe Giuseppe? Nope, that looks fine. I think we already looked at you, but just in case you somehow changed. Nope. Look at ourselves. Nope. I kind of seem to remember there was someone who had torn garment, but I don't remember where we saw that person. Also, of course, the question, if we saw someone yesterday, whether that makes, you know, like they might only have done it today. Okay, so nobody here. Looked at you already. Can we talk to him about a torn garment? Nope. Whoops. I clicked out.
Regarding Ezekiel's printing press trial?
For a moment you consider lying to Gines and telling him that Ezekiel wishes to show him how the printing press works. But if you do, Gines will return angry at your lie and probably before you even had the chance to take the key to the secret library.
Yes.
Oh, nothing. I'm just nervous, that's all. I hope it works.
I really couldn't care less, to be honest. The books I'm interested in will never be printed, although it does indeed spark my curiosity.
Okay, so I guess that's the thing we want to do. We want to be here and steal the stuff when he goes upstairs. Oh, he has a few Da Vinci helicopter here. And yeah, there seems to be some sort of denture here. What's this? A rope? We search among the varied utensils and decide to borrow the long rope. It's not often that games give you ropes, because they're just so useful.
Don't you dare bring that down, Brother Yago. When I see it, I get the urge to draw. And I've got tons of more important things to do.
Alright, what else can we look at in here? But I mean, we've already got a rope, that is a good start. You wonder what the tube is.
That is a periscope, invented by my friend Johannes and yours truly. Inside, there are two mirrors that, placed at 45-degree angles, allow the user to see without being seen. Unfortunately, one of the mirrors broke several days ago, and I haven't had the time to replace it. Please, take it. And if you manage to fix it, all the better.
Yay, we've got a periscope. Like, we're a submarine now. Ink, a quill, and feather is equals notes.
Don't touch any of that. I beg you. If I can't use the printing press, I'll have to use some archaic form of writing.
Yes, he's a little strung out there, isn't he? An excellent metal polisher, for God's sake. The compass is sharp enough as is. Oh, that's the printing press, I guess.
A beauty, isn't she? To think that a few miserable letters are going to make her look bad in front of the Queen. A metal plate, previously inked after hitting it with leather balls.
When you pull the lever, the central piece descends. The sheet of paper is trapped between the letters and the ink, hence producing the impression.
That's where the types or letters go. That's where you put the paper you want to print on. It folds the sheet and moves it forward.
Let's see if there's anything else. I guess not. Oh, there's a window. There's a cold draft coming from the window. It's strange that Ezekiel hasn't come up with a solution. I guess he has yet to invent the window pane. So I guess maybe that, or... oh, probably the window in the corridor. Remember, there was this window where it says, like, it's so high up so nobody can look at it. When I grow up, I want to be a submarine. Yes, exactly. What does it say what the tear looks like?
The letter thief, in all his clumsiness, tore his habit on one of the pins of the printing press.
I guess it says nothing. Oh, could we look at ourselves? Today? Maybe it was us. On colder days, a sensible man wears socks, but a righteous one freezes. So my guess is it would allow you to see and remain unseen if it weren't missing a mirror. Alright, nothing else, I guess. So where do we find the other mirror? Can we talk to him about anything? If only Gines had listened when he asked to read the book before Giuseppe. Yeah, we've already had that. Gates of Hell.
I've seen you staring at the painting of the Gates of Hell a few times. Do you like it?
No, it terrifies me. Every time I sin, I go to it and repeat to myself, "You will burn in hell, Toribio. You deserve eternal punishment, you corrupt, perverted pig. Burn, Toribio, burn!"
No, I just admire your taste in art. If Turbio likes it, it must be good, I tell myself.
Oh. Yes, true.
I've seen you staring...
No, you will burn. Burn, Toribio.
Me? I'm interested in the same thing you are. Each time you sin, I say, "You will burn in hell, you corrupt, perverted pig. Burn, Botillo, burn."
Giuseppe's demon lives in you. Say one more atrocity and I'll tell the abbot!
Okay, I guess we insulted him.
Nah, the other day, when Brother Botillo was sleeping, and it's a bit risky and not an easy feat.
This, I can't. It highlights as if I could interact with it, but it doesn't do anything when I click it. I hope that's not an important hint that I'm missing here. Is there a mirror anywhere? After giving it some thought, you decide that there's nothing in your desk that could help you in any way. You could take some paper to Ezekiel, but he doesn't need it. What they stole were the letters. Paper later to help Ezekiel do his demonstration. was that? Damned books that fracture the soul. Books that kill. Reading is overrated. Ever since your voice started to change, you've hated Gregorian chants until today. There's a melon. Anywhere else I can go there? Oh. It says it was silver, right? So it's probably a mirror. Beneath a thick layer of ice, there is a small ornamental plaque, possibly made of silver. So that's probably a mirror. So that's what we got to do. Oh, and we have salt, don't we? You pour some sea salt over the ice, and after a tedious wait, it's molten. You pull up your sleeves and try to strip off the silver plaque with your bare hands. Nothing, it won't budge. Okay, so we can't... Coat of arms. Okay, so I guess we need to find something that lets us remove this. There's a weird rope over there. Okay, I guess we've talked to him about everything. Anything else we can get or use or take? The rope you already took is the only thing you need. You think so?
Don't touch it.
Alright. Don't touch it. I get it. I don't have a look at him yet. Come to think of it, does he have any torn clothing? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I mean, he might be sleepwalking or something. Who knows?
I think it's the first time I see you working without your specs.
That's my fault. When I saw that the letters E were missing, I searched the entire workshop. I was so nervous that I accidentally tossed them out the window.
Oh.
Are you sure the library I dreamt of could only be where the Divine Paolo painting hangs?
You can only be sure of two things. Our good Lord is foolproof, and he created me in his own image and likeness. All other creations are capable of erring.
He's not at all convinced of himself. You stick your head out and look down. Sure enough, you see the glasses. Ah. Luckily, the glasses haven't fallen to the ground below. It's a shame you can't reach them. You tie the rope around your waist and... Woo! Alright, so let's look at these glasses. The spectacles that make everything appear exceptionally large to Ezekiel. So the question is, can we give them back to him? Does that help us, or do we want to use them? Okay, it doesn't let us offer it to him here. The spectacles, yeah, I know. After looking with the glasses, you find nothing that wasn't visible at plain sight. You look with the spectacles but find nothing. Okay, so we can use these to look at other stuff. Okay, nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. We shall see. I'm sure we'll find some spot where we can see something. We can't really interact with anything in his room, so I guess this is the next room. Maybe here. Using the spectacles, you search the desk for something, not quite sure of what, because what are you looking for, Brother Iago? Okay, but we can search the desk for something once we know what we're looking for. That's good to know. We just don't know what it is yet. Okay, we can't take anything along here. Are you going to write only with the letter E? A bit too experimental, don't you think? Not really, since several pages on one of the Gnostic Gospels you recently worked on, the one about the Egyptians, contains only that letter, grouped in words with 3 to 7 characters.
read all the things. Break the remaining mirror in half and reuse it. Then you can see half a thing. Yeah, that would be nice. You wonder if the painter hid a secret message in between strokes. Try as you may, you can't find it. Just a small metal plaque. You study the frame carefully in search of a secret message. If it's there, it's a good one. You stick the sharp end of the compass between the plaque and the painting and... Oh! Against door logic, the keyhole is on the frame. You study the frame carefully. No, okay. So we know now where the lock is, I guess. But we need the key. You pull up your sleeves and try to strip off the silver plague with your bare hands. No.
You know why I'm in a monastery? I sanded down the handle of a torch holder at my father's house and split the wood in two, but used molasses to hold it together. When one of father's concubines put a torch in it, the torch holder broke, and the torch fell onto her. She survived, but never again did father wish to lie with her.
That was a bit of a dangerous prank.
You know why I'm in a monastery? I sanded down the handle of a torch holder at my father's house and split the wood in two, but used molasses to hold it together. When one of father's concubines put a torch in it, the torch holder broke, and she survived.
That doesn't really sound like a friendly thing to do. Did he find a Gnostic code? Not sure what you mean. Coat of arms of Don Pedro Lopez de Ayala, Grand Chancellor of Castile and Benefactor of Santa Brigida. Upon closer inspection of the wolf, a word you've never heard before comes to mind. Fenrir. It's Latin for wolf, isn't it?
You know why I sanded down when one of she survived.
Okay, can't do anything with that. You tie the rope around the shackle to pull with all your weight to no avail. So we can do something with the shackle, I guess? Can we maybe... A sturdy rope, just like the one on the gallows you never hung from, thanks to Father Gines. else we can talk to? Henry III, the Sufferer, native of Burgos and King of Castile, who found something more than Christian piety in churches. You inspect the statue carefully in search of a hidden message. There is none. E for Enrique, which is Henry in Spanish. You know your stuff, Brother Iago. Enrique, I guess. Not Enrique. Why did I pronounce it French, I wonder?
You saved Ursus's life as well? What had...
When the Inquisition wants to execute...
Insight prevents others from spying on you while you work. A great idea if the periscope worked. Throwing that out the window wouldn't accomplish anything. Stuck inside the last letter E. Oh. Right, this is the cast. We haven't really got it out yet, have we? Look with the spectacles, but find nothing. It rings when Father Gines calls for Toribio, his favorite pupil. Oh, that's the rope that Gines had. The rope comes through a hole in the wall that leads to Gines' study. Yeah, we saw that rope. So can we use our rope with this? You could use it as a hook of sorts to ring the bell, but Toribio would see you. Something I have to learn about still, I guess. Haven't I talked to everyone already? Let's talk to everyone again, I guess. If only Gines had listened. Yes, yes.
About last night.
Nothing happened.
What are you copying?
A text lacking in righteousness. Hortensius by Cicero.
Did you hear? Somebody stole several letters from Brother Ezekiel's print shop.
No, I didn't know. But he had it coming. The printing press is a diabolical contraption. I'm sure this is the work of an angel sent by the Lord himself to return piety to the Abbey before the Queen's visit.
Interesting. I don't think we heard that before.
You must be thrilled now that Giuseppe is.
Shh! Remember,
Let's have a short sip to drink. It's a direct connection, so we can't do anything out here.
Do you have any idea who the thief could be?
I only know it's not me.
I mean, who can we talk to?
What about.
He's the Abbey's great, and he's been missing all morning.
What if.
Could be. That, although he is a coward.
Talked about that already. Oh, printing press. Letter E.
Are you sure you can't write without the letter E?
How could I? Ezequiel de Estella prints something for Isabella, Queen of Spain. Let me put it this way. From Squildstla to Kun Isabella of Spain.
What exactly are those?
They're small.
How did you get a printing press?
The invent he was going, which won't happen.
Excellent metal polisher. Wait, can we polish this? No, we can't. A human figure that Ezequiel uses as reference for his drawings. It doesn't look like he's interested in retrieving it at the moment. You could certainly use that to lower the figure, but Ezequiel wants to keep it up there. I think we've done do I get at this? I think that's what I would need. Let's see if I need to tell the game that I think the key is needed here. And it looks right. Although the previous experience indicates that this compass can convey keyholes out of thin air, one is enough. Sure must not smaller in size than a silver card and present up each step. They like to be on the safe side. The rule of St. Francis calls for a certain number of knots on the braided belt. A missing knot in the belt of an observant, such as Toribio, reveals something else is missing in him. Intelligence. And that on cold days a sensible one sucks, but a righteous one freezes. Not really many places I can interact with. Maybe let's go back in the flashback, see if we see anything there we haven't seen before. Dark rings under his eyes reveal his love of reading. Whoops. Will you have them too? The delicate, clean hands of someone who'd rather let others do his dirty work. Did he even try to help? No, the dirty rat. Okay, I think we've had all those conversations. Let's see if we missed anything we can look at. Okay, that's Giuseppe. Your best and why not only friend. Why did he ever read that book? It was Father Diego who told him, keep acting like a demon and the Inquisition will end up examining that mole. Yeah, we know that from previously. In the words of Giuseppe himself, the Franciscan hood is the best place to hide something you don't want to reveal. So maybe he hid the letters in his hood or in somebody else's hood? Hmm. You still remember the time when Giuseppe filled it with cochineal pigment, the type they used to make red dye. When Toribio draped the hood over his head, he screamed just like a pig being slaughtered. Hmm. Why did Gines bring him here? Was he afraid that someone would escape? If talking to Ursus in real life is often useless, imagine talking to him in memories. Am I right, my dear Ursus? He doesn't speak, read or write, the perfect accomplice and confidant. Hmm. You wonder what that murderous book contains. What is Hines searching for in its pages? Huh. Um, what's here? There was like a dot here, but I don't know why or what object it would be from. Had it not be for him, you would have been killed by the Inquisition 3 years ago. There are things you'll never dare ask him.
You said you what will happen.
Have you ever, although
Yeah, we have seen you hurt someone by experimenting with Giuseppe on that book. Or on Giuseppe with that book. Hmm. So... Hmm. So something is about this writing, I think.
Nah, the other day, when Brother Botillo was sleeping and Hines was not in his study, I snuck in through this window. It's a bit risky and not an easy feat. But oh, the pleasure that comes from knowing that I could steal something from our superior if I so desired.
You could throw that from afar to ring the bell and make Toribio think that Father Gines is calling him. But what if Toribio saw it, or what if it falls on him? He'd know it was you, and that would bring problems. The toll sounds like Judgment Day. Only Toribio, Gines' favorite copyist, is allowed to touch the books on those shelves. Search the books thoroughly, but find nothing that wasn't visible before. Okay. That's just the bell. Oh. 2 nights ago, after one of your recurring nightmares, you entered the scriptorium only to find Giuseppe descending from the lamp.
Shh, don't tell a soul. We'll have a good laugh tomorrow. I'm going to make Brother Botillo lose some weight.
You hadn't remembered that until today. Going to make Botillo lose some weight. You could tie some thread to the lamp if it weren't for the empty spool. Can I tie the rope? No.
Shh, don't tell a soul. We'll have a good laugh tomorrow. I'm going to make Brother Botillo lose some weight.
What can we do with it? Can we kind of combine the rope with the spool? Piece of wood you found on Giuseppe's desk. What's this? Oh, that looks... Is that missing from his bench? You look with the spectacles but find nothing. Spool is too small for that. You hit the mold with a piece of wood, but the letter just won't come out. Ooh. You try to pull the letter out of the mold using the sharp end of the compass. Far from achieving your goal, you only manage to bend the tip, so you straighten it out again. You'd bet your rosary that the compass belongs to Father Ezekiel and that Giuseppe borrowed it for one of his pranks. Maybe who put pepper on these candles too? You found a spoiler. Asked you for a hint if you like. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I don't know.
Shh, don't tell a soul. We'll have a good laugh tomorrow.
So how do you turn on the light? Or let's see, can we... And it didn't give me a new clue or anything. I mean, if you could give me like a very, very subtle hint that maybe might tell me what direction I can search in or something. Wait, the compass is from Ezekiel, so maybe what if I give Ezekiel the compass? Or something. Let's try if we can do anything. Father Ezekiel said you could use any of his possessions to find the stolen letters, so this is not the time to give things back.
I gave that spool to Brother Giuseppe. A very fine, almost invisible, yet resistant thread. It must have had about 10 meters left when I gave it to him, but it seems he used it up.
Oh. So the spool, the thread was probably tied. Spool is a, you know, like where you put yarn on, for example? You think that was it? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I gave that spool to
Yeah. So let's see. Like my thought is, you know, if it's somehow connected to that thing, then maybe we can, you know, pull the bell by pulling on this.
Shh, don't tell a soul.
Let's see. Can't really find thread here. You could tie some thread to the lamp if it weren't for the empty spool. Yes. Let's go back there and see if we can examine that with an eye towards the spool. Or something like that. Talk with him.
You must be thrilled.
Shh!
What was that, brother?
You're acting.
Nope. Thought a spool would be round. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. That's all him, okay. So where did the rope go? Oh, maybe now I can look here and find the rope. Maybe he just slung it over the... That could be it. Knowing exactly what to look for with the ideal instrument. You find one end of the invisible thread hanging from the ceiling and almost touching the wood. You gently pull on the thread and... Ooh. Hurriedly you search Toribio's desk but find nothing, and after no more than a minute... Okay. Can we ask him about this? No. So we can call him away. Guess there's nothing really we can talk about. Anything here? Ah, okay, now it searches the books. Okay, so maybe we can find something if we just get him far enough away. So I guess the goal is we still have to somehow get at the mirror to fix the periscope. And then we can probably observe something. And then we can probably use this ding-ding trick to you know, take something. It rings for him when he calls for him, when Rines calls for him, and when he doesn't call for him too. It's a nice addition.
Nah, the other day, when Brother Botilla... It's a bit...
Okay, I guess it's 7, so this is a good point for us to take a break of the evening, and then we can continue trying to figure out what to do here. So see you in a moment.